ready for the Blackout Part 2?
Come to this Blackout ready to have fun.
In July 16th in Atlanta, Georgia.
It's almost time for the Blackout. Hey, is you ready for the Blackout? Hey.
What's going on YouTube?
Jamar.
What's going on YouTube?
Washington.
This is boy, Marty 4 here once again.
What's going on YouTube? This is your boy Marty 4 here once again. And before we get into the hoes of hip hop, let me quickly remind you guys of this year's 2016 Blackout event hosted by my fellow YouTubers, Sweet Addictions TV and The Scorpion Show. We will be having this in Atlanta, Georgia at the Crow's Nest. Make sure you guys buy your tickets. They're now currently $25. And there'll be a Q&A panel featuring yours truly. So if you guys want to come, meet me, join me at the 2016 Blackout. Friday, July the 15th, we're going to go to Six Flags. We're going to be big kids, ride the roller coaster, scream. I need to refill my life insurance before I go there. And Saturday is the actual Blackout, where we'll have, our big whole event where we'll come, dance, eat food, party, play games. We're just going to have a great time. So I hope to see any and all of my subscribers there. Well, so now that I got that out of the way, let's get to this Love and Hip Hop Atlanta episode. Excuse me. This one was alright. It's kind of, progressed the storylines a little bit further, and we're starting to see who's going to be clicked up with whom and for what reason. So we start off where the last one left off, where homegirl, what's her name? Tammy, and I keep wanting to call her Betty Boop. It wants to just roll off the tongue. What's her last? Idol. Betty Idol got into a fight, and she was just out there screaming and shit. Like, she got her hair pulled, and she just making this whole big dramatic scene. I'm just like, girl, that's your real hair. I mean, every fucking time. He doesn't do shit while this shit is off. The suit as that red button starts flashing, this dog going to get this damn toy. And I don't want to take it from him because I don't want to be mean because he need to look all sad and shit. So, but damn. Anyway. So they fighting, having that whole big scene, and Tammy looks unfazed. Like, she ain't got no bruise, bandages, nothing. I mean, the other girl looked a little flustered. To me, I could be wrong, but that's just how I look. But we move on to Jessica and I invites Tierra. I found out that was her name. I was correct before. Tierra is out with Diamond. She just wanted to let the record be known, like, hey, that fuckery and foolishness that occurred, that had nothing to do with me. Okay. She was like, Tierra was saying in her confessional how Carly Red, the girl who initially invited her to said event, hadn't reached out or did nothing, but she appreciated how Jessica Nye was doing it, and they was having this whole conversation about how she used to hold him down. I hate that term. I hate that phrase or whatever you want to call it. Like, I don't know. It just, I don't know. For some reason, something about it just irritates me. But she was saying she was working 2 and 3 jobs, putting money on his books and all this other girl, and she wants him to drop this other girl, Tommy. Now the thing, I think I've mentioned this before in previous videos. I don't understand her issue quite. I don't, because she never said that we're together. Like, we're exclusively together. Okay? So, because you're not together, he has free will to fuck whomever. Now, if you and him have never said, I'm gonna fuck your vagina and your vagina exclusively, then he can fuck whomever. Like, why you trying to? And then again, I'm pretty sure it's illegal for you to just hold his son ransom from him without there being some sort of, reasoning behind why he can't see him. Like, is he a bad father? Does he hang around a bad crowd? Does he do drugs? Something has to be present. You just can't say, oh, he can't see his son because he's hanging around with some new bitch. Like, that's not gonna work in the court of law, baby. At least not I don't. If it can, let me know. And if it can work like that, that's some bullshit. But either here we go. So they want to actually have like a sit down with all three of them. Now, I don't understand how these situations are supposed to work out. If you are in the middle, if you're a guy, apparently this only happens with guys. If you're a guy and you fucking two different bitches, what sort of resolution do you expect to bring the two women, especially if they just fought? Like, this isn't they used to fight years ago and now they're meeting up. No, like they fought like a week ago. So how would bringing them together, you know what, I'm going to save that for later in the seed. I'm going to save that one because that was some bullshit for the end. We're going to move on past that. And Tammy was talking to Waka. And she was trying to tell her, the whole thing about the whole Betty Idol thing. And, he was basically being a dude, just kind of being like, I mean, it's whatever. Like, there's some bullshit. You and I know both what's up, so I don't even know why you letting this bitch, fluster your feathers and shit. And what was interesting about this scene was, because Tammy and Walker are trying to get their relationship back on track, right? And she was saying, well, you should try to be more romantic because, she was saying how she used to do these flower petals in him and Valentine's Day. And she said sometimes, even though they're supposed to be working on their relationship, she feels like she's in it alone. And I was like, bitch, I know what you're talking about. I can't tell you how many times when I've started dating somebody and I would be putting all the effort that I can into, trying to get to know the person, trying to, just basically give them a proper amount of attention. Just giving them 100% full of my attention. And they just be like, I don't get not even 50% of that back. Like, and then when you start to like retract and to be like, okay, well, if you ain't going, if you're not reciprocating this, then I'm going to kind of fall back a little bit. Then they want to look at you like, oh, you inconsistent, or oh, you this and that. Like, what the child, that's a whole different subject. But I was feeling Tammy when she came, like she was the only one doing it by herself. So, Mimi, Arian, Jessica, and who else was it? Chris, her girlfriend, but he's a guy friend, boyfriend, partner. That's going to be the politically correct term we'll use. They were at Tammy's little magazine reveal, whatever, for some African-American magazine, Black something. I couldn't remember. But what was interesting was that they was trying to talk about how the Mimi's party went, or not Mimi, well, Mimi's coming out, but Chris's birthday party thing. And Mimi said in a confessional, I'm laughing because I'm just thinking about it as I remember. She said, if I ever see those two, what did she call them, scalawags or something? If I ever see those two bitches again, there will be trouble. I'm just like, Mimi, sis, we ain't gonna do shit. What you talking about, girl? What is you talking about? Like, Mimi, you ain't a fighter. What you mean there's gonna be trouble, bitch? I just thought that just tickled me when she said it. I'm just like, oh, girl. Anyways, Tammy goes over and talks to Bambi and the rest of the crew about, oh, I just had this fight with this bitch named Betty. And of course, in Mona Scott Young fashion, Bambi's just sitting there like, oh my God, Betty, really? Like, oh my God, it's just so convenient that you said that and I have all this history with this girl. Like, oh my God, yes, this is really reality. And I know we stopped talking about, we know it's bullshit, but it's just sometimes, at least make it look like it's whatever. So, we get the whole backstory about how, Bambi and, what's her name? Betty don't like each other because Bambi a little crazy. We'll get into that later on. Are we getting into that next? No, not quite. But Brandy, what's her name? Bambi is a little, she's the worst kind of ex. She's acting like the worst kind of ex right now. But speaking of Mimi and her boo, Mimi invites Stevie J over. Now, last season, the finale, when Jocelyn and him broke up, she said, thank you, I have my friend back, and this, that, and the fourth. So their chemistry, excuse me, sorry about that. in this scene did seem authentically platonic, even though they, threw some little jokes back around about how they used to fuck. It still felt like just a regular, friend relationship. So, she was, telling them about, I want to tell you about my new life, my new home, as you can see, my new boo, my new this and that. And Stevie J was like, whoop, wait a minute. You're not just going right past that like you didn't say that. Yo, new what? What's this about you having a new dude? She was like, it's not a dude. She was like, he was like, well, word? You eat the couscous now? You munching carpet? I don't know. I don't know if I think Stevie had like a split emotion between jealousy, curiosity, and erection at the same time. Because he was like, I don't know how I feel about that, but I kind of want to see it. So he was trying to ask questions about his daughter. Like, does she see you and, Chris doing, anything? He was like, no. When Chris sleeps over, she sleeps in the guest room because, Eva sleeps with me and this, that, and the fourth. And he was just kind of like, and she was just describing how she just gives her the best head that she ever had in her life. She was just like, oh, in my whole entire life. Stevie J was like, shit, I thought I had what did he call it? The magic tongue or the fire, some bullshit. I was just like, girl. And I always said, and I'll say it again, when it comes to oral sex, if anything else, I always felt like no one can really do it better than someone who has the same thing that you have. Not saying that they can't do it well in heterosexual relationships, but it just seems like if you have a pussy, you know how it works and what makes it do what it do and feel the way that it feels. So you would have more experience in pleasuring another pussy. Doesn't that make sense? So now we get to talk about Scrappy and Bambi. So Bambi decided to show the fuck up to Scrappy's and what's her name? Young Jock's little crib. Bambi went in there just with all the intentions of not battered, that's the wrong word, he didn't beat her ass, of a, what word do I want to call her? I'll just call her disgruntled for right now, because she went in there trying to make it seem like Betty and Tammy's fight had something to do with him, because Tammy is her friend, and the bitch that she fought is not even his girlfriend, but just like a little piece that he probably fucks on occasion. To me, that's not a strong enough of a connection for Scrappy to really give a fuck. But she was like, because he was organizing, his little model photos. He's trying to be focused on his business. And here she comes talking about, are these the hoes that you besting with? These the hoes that you fucking? See, see, I can't be doing all this. You sending me all these text messages talking about how you desperate, you heartbroken, you want this pussy back, and now you up in here talking with all these bitches, and then he's just like, whoa, wait, hold on. How does "how you doing today" refer and translate to "I want you back, I'm so heartbroken"? And I think in Bambi's mind, him maybe initializing a text saying "how you doing" is his way of saying that I want you back. She was like, I mean, I miss the girl in certain aspects, but I don't. No ma'am. Oh shit. And then Bambi tried to leave out, and then they did this is a very strange scene, especially for Scrappy, particularly about this dog thing. Was I the only one that felt awkward listening to Scrap talk Baby talk to this dog? And I'm just like, something about this don't sit right with my spirit. I just feel weird, like something. And then the dog left it, and then she took the damn dog treats or dog food or whatever. I'm just like, well, that was odd. Just to hear all that baby talk shit. I'm just like, Scrappy, stop it. That's weird. Don't do that. I always hated that baby talk to damn dogs. I be talking to my dog like he a real dick. Hold on, let me scroll down and see where we at. Are we at the good part? Not quite, but we close. This was another slightly bizarre scene. Was with D. Smith and Tammy. She was trying to figure out like why D. Smith didn't come to the little magazine thing they had earlier. And she was like, well, it's not really my crowd, which is understandable because I'll go ahead and say it. I don't typically enjoy like the heterosexual straight type of party scene, just because usually it's just filled with a whole bunch of people, guys in there smoking, standing up against the wall, trying to find a way to swoop in on all the bitches walking on the floor, and all the bitches ain't really doing too much because they're too busy trying to look cute and sip their drink. And then they just play a whole bunch of gangster shit that you can't really too much dance to. And I always prefer the gay club because, first of all, you're going to always see some type of interesting fashion statement in there. You're going to see all types of routines, jet setting, and there's going to play a lot more music that you can dance to. So that's why I've always preferred the gay scene over the straight scene. So if that's the angle she was coming from, I'm like, okay, bitch, I'm with you thus far. I'm with you thus far. And then she was like, well, I thought it was kind of shady because I thought we were, supposed to be trying to work together. And she was like, wait a minute. You are trying to work with me. Okay, she's like, well, yeah, because I saw you modeling and I was trying to put you in my modeling. She's like, let me stop you again. Stop you again. I'm not trying to be a model. I was in that fashion show as a favor to somebody else. I'm trying to be a producer and songwriter or whatnot on Grammy hit song. Now, y'all need to let me know. Does D. Smith have a Grammy? Does she have producing or writing credits on a Grammy nominated song? Y'all let me know, cause I just want to know. I need receipts. But she was like, you try to say in her confessional, like, well, you guys are married, like you guys spend every day together, so you must share a brain. Now I was like, no, that's where you had me up until you said that, bitch. Just because two people are married does not mean that they share every single viewpoint. Okay? They can connect on all sorts of other stuff, but they may not have the same viewpoint as specifically as this, maybe when it comes to homosexuality. Maybe he doesn't necessarily hate them, he just may not necessarily too much agree with it, but he's not gonna go out his way to make an issue for somebody who is, transgender or LGBT. He's just not he just doesn't understand it, basically. So, and if she does, and if they're married, I don't understand how, if you're married, you automatically become conjoined at the brain. Like, I'm like, D, no, you're sounding stupid, girl. And then after she was talking about, oh, well, you were trying to work with me, then it just become a whole shade fest. She's like, why would I try to model in some no-name, bangy-ass modeling thing? And she was like, you need to go ahead and get your wig straightened out and this, that, and the fourth. So I guess now they beefing. And she's like, you know what? She's right. Betty Ida was right. Tammy is nothing but a fake little tart. I'm just like, hearing her trying to be like mean and boisterous in the confessional, it just comes off like, girl, stop. Just stop it. Nobody believes that you really about that life now. I mean, no, I just don't believe it, no. I ain't even gonna do that. Scrappy wanted Betty to apologize. Betty was like, ha! Bitch, you thought. And so basically he was like, Bam came by talking about all this drama, and if you can't apologize, then we ain't gonna be fucking with each other no more or making up music. And she was just, trying to act all crying and stuff. I'm like, y'all really trying to integrate this Betty girl into this, but I'm just like, her voice annoys the fuck out of me. It really does. Like, and then she looks like a drag queen in her confessionals. Not like, well, no, I ain't even gonna give her that much, because some drag queens be looking fierce, but the outfit looks like something I can see a drag queen wearing. But anywho, it's this last scene that I want to talk about that I held off before, about the whole getting two bitches together. Scrap brings in Tiara and Tommy to the situation. And now both women have it in their mind that, oh, okay, we about to sit down with this bitch and he's about to tell her not to fuck with her. He's not gonna fuck with them no more. And then we're gonna ride off into the sunset on their ass and make her eat it. So they both sitting there waiting like, is you gonna tell her? Is you gonna do it? In their minds. And he's sitting up here talking about, I wanted to bring y'all together because I have a court case and I need y'all support. Both the bitches looking at him like, excuse me, motherfucker? Excuse me? What? You want, what? You know? She's like, I came here because I thought you was supposed to be telling this bitch that she's not gonna be, y'all ain't gonna be together no more, and blah blah blah. And you basically want two people that you messing with to help you out of a bunch, but you can't respect neither one of us to just pick one. I'm like, and then they was sitting there wasting all this time fighting each other. I'm like, why don't y'all see the common picture here? Y'all both being played by the same man. Like, he's sitting up here playing both of y'all. Why don't y'all sit here, team up together, and just fuck him up? Like, he's the common denominator here. I don't understand why y'all sitting up here so mad and upset at each other when he's the one out here playing y'all like y'all stupid. So I don't know. He was just trying to keep the whole thing going, trying to talk with Stevie J and get some bad advice from his ass. Child. Like, what do you expect for two women to come together and do? Like, if you're not willing to pick one, how would taking them both together and bringing them to talk about something, what do you really expect to resolve from that? Are you expecting a threesome of some sort? I don't understand. But child, that was Love and Hip Hop this week. Sorry about that. But yeah, next week, K. Michelle and Jocelyn finally come back into the picture, so that should be interesting. But I'm actually about to go ahead and watch Drag Race and get ready to get into Miss Untucked. So that will be the next video of today. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Like, share, subscribe.
Washington.